Hey guys, happy Saturday everyone. Welcome to our weekend episode of the Daily Stock Market Insights with Miss JD. And it has been a very exciting week, first week of 2021. Um, I think a lot of you guys were profitable. I'd like to believe that. Let's see how the market went, right? Particularly last Friday. So if you have not watched my insights from the previous days, it's actually worth looking back. If you have the time, check out our my insights on these previous days, and then try to cross-reference it with how your stocks actually performed right after the video was created, and probably you can get some best practices there or some insights that you can apply in your trades, right? But yeah, we can go ahead and discuss again these stocks that you have in your portfolio. Yeah, if this is your first time to watch my video, before we get started, I'd like to invite you to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you're always updated. And I'd like to also remind everyone that this is just my analysis, okay? I am not a financial advisor. We all have different investment or trading profile. I particularly like being a position trader, and I don't really mind sitting on a particular stock for a much longer period of time when I know my base is really at a low level, because there's a bigger upside or a bigger potential if I hold on to these positions in a much longer time frame. Okay, so uh, these insights could help you, but definitely please do your research and make sure your actions are fitting to your profile and then your risk tolerance. Okay, so let's get started with the index. How did the index perform last Friday? So we had a solid green, and I loved seeing this kind of ending where you don't have a wick at the end price, because that simply means that there is a big chance that there will be a continuation of the bullish movement. Although, what I can say at the moment is that we are sitting at a possible resistance. And you know what happens when there is a resistance, right? That's actually a profit taking level in some of the stocks. But the index in particular is not a stock. Okay, for those who are beginners watching this video, this is a collection of stocks, particularly the top 30 stocks in the country, and the average performance is what we see here in the index. So what we have at the moment is that we are sitting at a possible resistance, but mind you guys, if the momentum is present, of course there are so many resistances that we have broken. In fact, if the market sentiment is really on the buy side, chances are we could even have a gap up that will happen, like what happened here. There's a slight gap up that happened. So we could even have something like that if, you know, buying sentiment is stronger than the sellers or the selling. So let's watch out if most of the action happens above the 7,290 area, then that's a good sign. Then promising actions or promising outcome will be observed in our major stocks. Okay, so let's go ahead and discuss the highly trending stocks that we have in the market today. So I would like to just go ahead and do this. Okay, so the first one would be ACEN. All right, so the previous days I've already reminded everyone that there is a big domino effect of the SRO X date to the price. People will be taking profit the first minute of the day. Um, they'll be exiting. And true enough, that really happened. In fact, it was overkill, if I may say, because the very first minute it went what? This is like a 22% drop. Okay, but was mentioning that if your outlook is really on the mid to long term, time frame, then this is just a temporary fluctuation in the price. I was even expecting for it to drop as low as this level. Okay, so I was expecting that it will drop to that level, but it didn't even reach that. So what I'm saying is that, so looks like we could be establishing a possible support right at this area now. See this, because this used to be a resistance level, and probably we could be establishing a support there. So what is the effect of this? Again, I'd like to stick to my outlook that mid to long term wise, there's really a lot of potential for this stock. Plus, if you, let's say, entered somewhere here, and you want to add more shares because you already have a guaranteed slot if you want to avail the SRO, then chances are, if your average is around, let's say, 8 pesos, and then you will buy SRO at 2.37, then of course it could bring your average down at a much lower level. And if we see the stock continuing its uptrend or bounce to the upside, then of course you are now on a much even better position. So what I'm saying at the moment, there will be fluctuations. Yes, there will be. So if you'd like to haggle between 647 to 782, because I'm thinking some people will be taking profit because they might have entered somewhere here, then there will be a fluctuation within this level. Then definitely I see a continuation to the upside. You also had a big volume right here. Let's just see if we had some foreign buying that happened. This is another indicator that I've started adding on my setup just previously. Okay, see that foreign buying was present in the volume is really significant here, huge volume. So they've started entering again because they know the effect of the SRO being on the X date. So they must have entered at a really low level right here. So that's what we are anticipating. I see more movements going up, but by Monday, if you have the opportunity to haggle in between 647 to 782, that would be a much better entry. All right, maybe a 7 peso level would be like halfway, would be fine already. Okay, I know they are expecting another big catalyst here, so I'll update you guys once I'm done doing my further research on this stock, and I will let you know. But definitely, with the government supporting renewable energy, there will be more to come. Definitely more to come for the energy sector or renewable energy related stocks uh, in the coming months or even years. All right. For Dito, of course, I've been vocal with my stand for Dito. I have a position for Dito, and the other day when it fluctuated here, this one with the long wick, I was able to catch it at the 11 peso level, adding it to my base. So previously my base was 5.93 or 5.98, and now it went up to 6.15 because when it reached the 10 peso level I added, and when it reached the 11 peso level I added again. And hopefully uh, overall, even if there was foreign buying here, I still see more um, buying sentiment because definitely the people participating in this stock is just a mix of foreign and local investors. So even if there will be selling that will happen, foreign selling that will happen, it will be negated. The effects will be or impact will be negated by the buying sentiment that we have coming from the local investors. So overall, I see this as a bounce at the 1140 or 1144 area. So at any time you have an opportunity, if the market gives us a chance very near this level, then I'd say take advantage of that. And guys, I like the traders. I appreciate the skill of the traders, but at the same time, sometimes you have to look at the bigger picture to have a bigger potential of to achieve much bigger potentials of our investments. these traders, even in just small percentages, they take profit because they could execute several trades within a day or within a few days, right? But for people who are working and have other engagements to attend to, I strongly recommend to look at the bigger picture and maybe mid to long term outlook would be a more fitting time frame for you guys, and find those key areas where you will see possible dips and bounce. So when it dips and it creates this brand new support right there, that would be a much better entry. So at this point, we are moving higher and higher. At the same time, the when it declines, of course, it will create some higher lows, and that's where we enter. So like this one, it dropped and it bounced at this area. So this is now our new support, 1144. So we don't know. We could have another situation that looks like this, right? Then take advantage of that. So I'm saying this in the assumption that you already have a much lower base. But if you are entering this stock for the first time, I would say if you're trading it, then I'd say it's already at the expensive level. But if you are investing on it, then I'd say go for it. Maybe just haggle for a few cents. 1144 would be a much better entry. Because overall, if we are to give this stock like a few months, and even try to see what happens during the launch date when they become fully operational. I'm projecting 50 pesos would be very easy to achieve once they become fully operational. Okay. This one, another good stock. We have a breakout play, successful breakout last Friday. 1143, that was the resistance before, with 27 million on foreign buying. This is supported by good volume and foreign buying. Okay, so just take note, if they must have entered right here, so they could have an average of around 143. And what you can probably do is try to observe later on, because are we in the all-time high? No, not yet. So there's a resistance nearby. Maybe around, let me do this on a weekly chart. So we have there. So this is your resistance. We're actually sitting at a possible resistance. Yeah. Oh, back in 1998, it even reached as high as 3 peso area. So let's try to understand where could be our next resistance level. Okay. We are currently at a resistance following the monthly chart now. 165. Yeah, the current price. So what I'm seeing here is that the next possible action is that we, if we have one candlestick ending outside of this 168 level, then we might be establishing a brand new support at this area, its previous resistance. We might see probably 1, 2, I don't know, 1 day, 2 days worth of uptrend, but definitely I feel that there will be a continuation. But just be mindful, because the movement would always look like this, right? It goes up, and then people will be taking profit, and then it will retest your previous resistance and create a support right there. And sometimes it does like this first before it goes up. Okay, so just observe, and let's see if it will successfully break out. We had this breakout over here. Yes, we know that. But if there is a continuation, then chances are it will create a retest at this level. But if there's a rejection, then of course it'll go back to this price level. If it gets rejected, let's say people will take profit tomorrow on Monday. Then if it declines, then you know where it could potentially stop. Same thought process. The resistance that you got here before could be revisited, and we might create a support right there. However, we know that there's also a resistance at 1.69. And then if we continue moving up, then this resistance can again become your support, and it will retest that level. Overall, looks very bullish for me. There might be some slight fluctuation, but long term wise, I think those slight dips. If it will dip, it will be just minimal dip, and then it will go back right away, because I see this. So I'm expecting some form of retracement, but very minimal. Like probably what happened here, like 2 days, and then it will continue moving up, just to respect this declining RSI. APL. Okay, this is another stock that I have just entered Tuesday of last week. I entered right here. This was day one. I was not able to successfully, so my order here was not hit, so I had to chase. But good thing we were able to enter. So I was actually on my first buy. It was a FOMO, 19.1950, but I said, what if it goes up and I will not be able to chase it anymore? So good thing that was just a pure test buy, and then I was able to catch it at the 0.16 level, and good thing it continued moving up. Our outlook here, I again have a longer time frame in terms of outlook in this stock, mid to long term wise, because there's, you've seen that, I'm sure, because you're always using Investagrams. They're into mining, and they have some partnership overseas. China, they have partnership with companies in China, or a company in China, to supply. Uh, yeah, I don't have the full story, but definitely this is a mining company, and they have projects overseas. Okay, so I see this. If there will be fluctuation, I'm anticipating the drop could just be around the 0.18 level, 0.1818, and we can take advantage of those dips. Definitely more buying sentiment over here. So we've already been in an extended overbought level, but I think that's also the case with ACEN before, like the previous months. We've been in the overbought area for an extended period of time, because the catalyst is just there. Here, see that? So the next possible support, because we've broken out of this resistance, is 0.1818. So and then I see it moving higher and higher. Volume is still there, guys. See that? The next one is BDO. Okay, going back to how our index has performed, we had a bullish movement, so it has taken effect in the stock, being one of the I don't know, top one or top three in the index. But definitely we ended green again, and we're about to trigger a breakout of this MA20 line. We know that when we're moving at the MA20 level, then that's your resistance, right? But with this on foreign buying, our index are looking bullish, then it's easy to say that we might have a continuation in the coming weeks, and just take note of the resistance. We're actually sitting at a resistance short term wise, this being at the MA20 line, and you had the resistance right here. And if we break out of that, then next area to challenge would be 115. Okay, it's not just BDO that's showing some recovery. Banking sector is starting to show signs of recovery. Okay, I will go through each one, but definitely right next on our list would be BPI. BPI also, this is a really good move. So this, I was saying in the previous talk, BDO we're sitting at a resistance, and this is what we're anticipating. You want BDO to cross the MA20 line, because previously this was the resistance for BPI, and it has done that. It managed to cross the MA20 and then starts to trigger. See, from a constricted Bollinger Band, we're starting to open up, create some volatility, and actually, whenever you have high volatility, there's the money, especially for the traders because they can get in and out, yeah, several times within the day. But definitely, pretty similar to what I said about VDO banks are starting to show signs of recovery. Just be mindful of the nearest resistance for BPI. This is your resistance, but definitely with the volume of what we have for foreign buying and index being looking, it's starting to look good, then chances are we could have a continuation. But even better if we break out of that resistance, because you'll see it moving up some more. Okay, so in the meantime, I just plotted there, but overall, still looking healthy. RSI is still looking healthy, so there's still room for that price to move even higher for BPI. So for those people who may have entered right here, just hang in there. Your turn is about to come. Okay, next is MerryMart. MerryMart also, I was able to enter several times here. Actually, two entries. One right here during the 5th of January, and then I was able to catch it somewhere here, 670 if I'm not mistaken, or 6.6. But I was able to take advantage of the drop here, and then now it is already looking good. I see it moving higher and higher. Okay, so this is your retracement, and you had a bounce, and then there's a confirmation of that bounce, and this being the short-term resistance. But mind you guys, that could be easily broken. We could easily break that. So I'm thinking there's a big chance that we could even have some form of a gap up. But sometimes when we have a gap up, within the day there will be fluctuations, right? People will be taking profit and then it will fill the gap. Sometimes it takes days before the gap gets revisited and filled. But at this point, I'll just plot it right here because this is what I see. These are the facts that I see. 8.04 level is your nearest resistance. Okay, but we could easily break that. Okay, URC also looking good. So you had some foreign buying, 24 million on foreign buying. There is a resistance, true, but again, like what I said with the index, if we go beyond this level, then it will create a domino effect in some of our stocks. So this one too, if we break out of the 160, then you have a breakout play. And we can just plot the next possible resistance from the previous performance. So I'm thinking it'll be 166 level. Because you had some consolidation right here. See this area over here? There. Each time the price level gets hit, then there's a bounce. So that was your support before, which was your resistance as well. So this area could be something that will create a meaning later on over here. So resistance right now is 160. We could be breaking out, and then another resistance to break would be 166. GTCAP also had a good bounce. This is our support right now, and our resistance will be your MA20 line, okay, around 620 level. Now if you look at it on the bigger picture, there is still that bigger potential. See that? But it might take some time, so just be prepared if you want to really be profitable here, especially for the index stocks. Index stocks really move slowly than the second liner stocks. But in terms of peace of mind, you will have a you will be able to achieve that more when you engage in an index stock, because you know that the fundamentals are good, cash flow is good. um, but if you want to really move, if you want to uh, to reap some possible big gains, then your secondary stocks can do that, because they could move like 20%, 15% in one day. But index stocks on average could only move 3%, 4%. So you gotta weigh things out and see where you fit. Okay. Ali also. So we're still moving sideways here for Ali. So this is how I'm going to do this. I'm going to create a box right here. So that's your Darvas box right now. It's just moving within that range. So while I see good buying potential here, my preferred setup would be a breakout of the Darvas box. Although it's also nice that you get at a 40 against the 42 area, right? But us breaking out would be a more secured setup than getting it here, because if the momentum declines, then it could easily break that. So see this. So it's creating that right now, consolidation on the high. And let's see how it will pan out here. So previously the peak was around 53, so we're like halfway there. We'll see if it can go back to the pre-pandemic price level. But guys, mind you, this has already risen by 50%, right? 54%. So there could be some profit taking. That's why what I'm saying is that it's better to really wait for a breakout. Um, so at least you know there's more buying power or buying sentiment, because this alone could be a profit taking area. And then if people just suddenly decide, especially the institutions, if they decide to exit, then chances are it could break this level support area, and then it could drop again. FGEN, this is a good stock as well. We had a breakout. Okay, so the breakout here is right at this level, 29.53. This also gives out a dividend. How many times a year? So this year alone, it gave us twice. What? Yeah, twice. Okay. So we're bullish here. We could see some more movements going up with foreign buying, significant amount here, volume picking up. So I see a continuation going higher and higher. Now, much better entry would be between 29.53 and 31. Anywhere between that is a good entry. Actually, I like this. So let me see if I can consider this as well. I'm gonna watch that. Did it go to my watch? No. I have a maximum. And so I'll remove now. I don't have a position there. Then I change it to FGEN. Okay. Right. PHR. PHR had a red. Okay. So this is not a good sign for me. Previously, when we ended outside of the Bollinger Band, and that's nice because there are continuations moving up. So I think people have already started to take profit here. This was a good 34%. See, Secondary stocks could give you 34% lift in just 1 week. Well, so what I'm thinking is that it could continue to retrace and probably revisit this level before it could go up again. Okay, so previously it also was at a healthy area and it significantly dropped, and then now we're starting to show some recovery, but these are just expected ups and downs on our way to recovery. So right now I see a support at the area where you used to have your resistance. See this? This used to be a resistance. This used to be a resistance. So 3.28 is the area I am looking at. Okay. Wow. Where are we? ABBA. Good volume. But you're also at a resistance level right now. Let's see. There was a gap down that happened here. We could be feeling that soon. Our ultimate trigger would be if we have one candlestick ending right here. So that's a breakout play. And then, of course, we could be revisiting this area again. And this will serve as our next possible resistance. We're just filling that gap. So we've already climbed up significantly. So I expect some form of correction probably after we revisit the 0.85, 86 level. All right. So the condition there is if we end outside of the 0.75, then there will be a continuation. But if we don't have that by Monday and most of the sentiment is below 75, then there will be a dip or a decline going back to nearest would be 0.68. So at least you know the next directions or to what extent will the climb and the decline would be depending on where we are going to end on Monday. APO. Wow. Oh my gosh. Hopefully guys you are not able to, let's say if you're able to enter right here, you were able to exit and cut your loss early. So this is sitting at a resistance at the moment. Okay. So if we don't have a candlestick ending higher than 0.86, you know what will happen next. We will go back to the MA20 line. But we're banking on this volume over here. So we might see a continuation, just one candlestick, and then we might see a continuation going up. But if it declines, you know where to catch it, right? Between the two, I'd go for, wait for it at the MA20 line. There's a big chance right there. Your momentum is declining. This could just be 1 day worth of, uh, action. MRC. MRC, are we just consolidating at the moment? Looks like it, right? So I'm thinking if you're interested in this stock long-term wise, um, take advantage of those slight dips there. 0.58 would still be okay for me. 0.58 level, that's your support. Or you can even do a test buy because this is already a bit on the expensive side if you're a position trader. You can test it out here, and if it continues to move higher, then you add more volume. So 0.58, that's the nearest support. Okay, so I think that's it for our first part. I'll try my best to record again this evening. It's still early, so go ahead and drop a comment if you have some requests. Okay, so I can prioritize that later on. In the meantime, thank you for watching, and don't forget to hit the subscribe. By the way, if you're interested in trading the US market, eToro is the best place so far based on my perspective. User friendly, and you can create an account. It's just free, and I have my referral link down below. Okay guys, thank you for watching. Bye bye for now.